Do I think this is gonna last? I do not, all right? And am I often right about that? I'm gonna say, actually, yes. Like when my hunch is there, the hunch is usually right, and I know our jewelry gals are going to love this. This is brand new today. This is how we're gonna round out my 3 hours with you. It's how we're gonna round out the show. But please stick around, there's plenty more jewelry to come on our jewelry sale event day. We celebrate the brilliant cut, as we did with the ring, so if you love that cut and you love the look, maybe you want both. In the end, though, I mean, I was so taken by these earrings. They had to be my pick of the show. It is row after row, stone after stone, rivers of brilliant cut Diamonique, the world's finest simulated diamonds, in a slightly, like take a round hoop and pull it just a little bit so it becomes the slightest of oval. But to me, the best part, right there, where you don't see where the stones stop, switch and pick up again, so that while you get credit for the metal, regardless of which you choose, really all of the wow is in the stones. It's the double row hoop earrings for $69.98. And can I share with you what I think is one of the best parts of this? Dan, I don't know if you can shift to my hand here. It's the closure.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a high-end jewelry designer look. It costs us a lot extra to do it, but you know, for you, we did you a solid. You press down on the mechanism, there's a button, and it releases the snap closure. So there is never any, I'm not so sure if it's closed or not, because once you snap it closed, it is locked in there. And the only way to get it out is to press down, which is super easy to do when it's in the ear. So you have your choice of the yellow gold over silver or the all silver, and I gotta tell you, this is a tough one. Maybe it's both, maybe you already have a favorite. Either way, no, it's not, Frank. The yellow is last call.
Oh, really?
Actually, Erin, who has like the sweetest disposition ever, I saw her frown for a second. You saw that, right? She went.
Because I'm
like
thinking, I'm pretty sure I just put the yellow ones on. Yep, I think I did.
Yellow's last call.
Okay.
I love Frank to pieces. He's one of my dearest friends, so
Sorry,
I'm just
Frank.
giving him a hard time. Okay. But then we do also have the silver. But if he calls last call on that, then I'm really going to get mad. Anyway. All right, honey, where do we start? These are, I mean, all my years here, I have not seen anything like this in Diamonique.
Right.
We went big.
We did.
Yeah.
You know, we're used to seeing inside-outside hoops with a single row of stones. So these are almost like two hoops put together because you get 2 rows of them. And then I like how in between each one you have that beaded detail, so it really separates those rows. They stand out for you. So kind of like you've layered them together. You get a little bit more width in the ear, you know, because it's not just that single row. And then we'll continue that luxury of the double row, even on the inside of the hoop itself. So no matter the angle that you're gonna see these from, or someone is looking at you and admiring them, they see sparkle. I mean, it's just across the board.
All I see.
Yeah.
I'm looking at us when we have this shot right here. And every once in a while, I kind of glimpse down at the monitor, and all I see are what looks like lights. It looks like literal light bulbs. Around, and not in an obnoxious, like, disco ball kind of way. It's that glow. Like, they're just all encrusted in the look of diamonds, right? And so this is where I am going to say, if you had your heart set on the yellow and we sell out of it, looks like it's pending, and we only have the silver remaining, I guess if you're super married to a metal, it is what it is. I think this is more about the stones.
Yep.
And while you get credit for the metal, really from a distance, all you're going to see is sparkle.
Yeah, it's such a great way to get, you know, a nice presence in the ear without it being too heavy either. And then, that's a good idea. I wasn't sure exactly. Just a little
It's just over an inch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I think they have more prevalence. I thought
It
they
looks
were
more than that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
that's just...
If we took all the stones out of it, it might be more believable that it's 1 inch. I thought you were also looking at the price.
Yeah, well, I was looking at the carat weight, too.
Because here,
but-
just go, read to your heart's content, because guess what? That price actually got lower. It's
You're right.
Yeah, $69.98. 4 easy payments of $17.50. Sometimes the folks who put our shows together, they make changes. Like the first item in the show, I'd never seen before, right? And last minute they said, no, let's discount this more."
Fantastic. And it's brand new. We haven't had a chance to talk about these yet. This is brought in just for our June celebration month. We're getting that look you love from a hoop, but we've done a little extra. So we elongated it, right, to make it a little bit more flattering when you have that oval shape. It's just a little bit more flattering on everyone. The really pretty kind of scallop detail, the way that they're set, it actually allows the light to hit the stones from the side too. So that's why you're really going to be able to see, like if we turn these this way, I'm going to spin that back where Jen, you see how that's kind of like the metal does these like little U shapes, right? So it's cradling the stones, but it's really letting the light come in from the sides too.
That's why.
So this is why the stones are really sparkling extra bright. And you're so right about that closure. It's my favorite in a hoop.
Oh, I was so surprised. Well, actually, like, I'm going to turn it even more because I want you to see. It might have been a challenge when I was holding it, my hands were in the way. But do you see, look at the finding. So back here, that button that you press, there's scroll work in the silver.
Even there.
On the, I mean, those, I love it when there's little details like that that no one will see until you are putting them on and you're like, I don't know, it's those little details that make you go, ah. You know, like a, I don't know. Well, that doesn't count either. I'm trying to think of like little details like in a car or something like that.
Like a little liner in your blazer.
There you go.
You got to put your jacket on. It's got the fun lining. Mine doesn't, but I'm like, I could show you, but it's the same.
Yeah.
But that kind of thing is fun. Like it's just for you. You see that little detail. It's that little added luxury. And we can do that in Diamonique.
And that's what you deserve, right? For less than $70. And, you know, I keep talking about like the luxury and the sparkle and the metal and everything. But you know, and we like to get a little dressed up on our jewelry days, but I want you to please also picture this with like, you know, the blouse that you're wearing to work or the t-shirt, you know, like a Isaac Mizrahi Pima cotton t-shirt and a pair of pants. And would you go, that's too fancy for this? No. I mean, if this were dripping in 8 carats of multicolored gemstones, that is for, you know, maybe the special occasion. It's less of a comfort story and more of a visual story. This is both of them. And so in every situation, I would say that you would wear a hoop earring. You wear a hoop earring with a little bit more sparkle. Now I'm going to place this into our shot. It is not technically the same design, but brilliant cut, right? And so if you're loving the extra radiance from that cut, then please also consider the quote-unquote wedding band that we had earlier in the show. I'm going to give you another update. The yellow is gone. If you want the silver, there are 300 remaining and a sale price that expires at midnight. Can we also talk about that for a second? When this price goes up, it goes up to $100. And that is, you know what, in Diamonique, we do actually have those existing price tags that are $100, $150, and that's what this is going to be. For all of the stones, the labor to cut these stones, to place them, to hand set them into not this whisper thin, tiny little tinny amount of metal, but substantial metal. And honestly, I think a big part of that $100 is the closure.
Definitely. You know, it's a hinged earring too. So this isn't just like that hoop where it has a post and you put the post through the ear. It opens up for you. So look at how much room you have to be able to easily put that through the ear. It clicks into place, you hear it, you feel it, and then it isn't going anywhere. So if you have layers and you get into the office, you throw a sweater on, but then you're leaving and you take it off as you walk outside, it's not going to catch on the post and then accidentally pull the earring out, which has happened to all of us. These will stay put for you.
Look at that. You can sit there and count them if you want. I'm not going to do that now because that would bore the daylights out of everybody. But when you count, make sure you count all the stones in the back too. And that's what you deserve, my friends. And honestly, I think this is a good summation of Diamonique because even for all of the great values that we've had in real diamonds today, even here at QVC, we couldn't do something like this because then the price would just be, you know, out of a lot of people's comfort zones. Okay, we have fewer than 200 remaining. And likelihood that it will sell out regardless of when that price expires, but the price does expire in just a few hours, actually. It's J423714. Only the silver choice remains. Erin, it was a delight to be with you again. Are you coming back later this evening, or are you done?
We'll be back one more time with our big deal set of 3 rings.
Starting to sound like later this evening we've got a lot of our best of guests and jewelry to come, so I hope you'll stick around until the very end. I will see you next on Friday afternoon. Have a great rest of this pretty sparkly day.